Hello and welcome to my version of a FisherPrice Lion piano circuit bend, which I had given up on a couple of months ago, but dragged it out again to try maybe something new. It didn't have a lot of bends, circuit points for it, but because the black blob had everything built in, including the amplifier, which sometimes happens in newer toys that have that plus and minus to control volume. This one did have a resistor, and I used that to modify the pitch. The starving it didn't have much in the way of nuance, but I found that a 1K pot was close enough to really get anything out of it. What I'll do is I'll let the sound play, and as we go, give more information on how it was accomplished. When I pulled the toy out of the toy shed, I realized that what had attracted me to it originally was the large volume of space for knobs and switches and stuff, but that since it didn't have a whole lot of bends in the usual way, I decided I'd take sort of a different turn. I used LFOs to trigger sound to sort of create a constantly generating, repeating pattern. I found that by varying or randomizing a little bit of the LFO, that it would change over time or make slightly different combinations of sound. Bend, I actually created 3 separate LFOs that would connect to various selectable points on the circuit board and create a sort of a random pattern generator. Since they're just square waves, and I decided that I'd use multiples of each other, vaguely fast and medium and slow, each able to select between patch points. I also jazzed it up with a knob which added a bit of randomness to the LFO and to try to trigger different timings. Combined with the 3 momentary buttons that create a little bit of chaos. It gave a pretty good range of weirdness and offering a couple of noise sounds, but mostly sort of a long-term pattern generation. Right there, I had to hit the reset button. The fast pitch point changes with some selections of the LFO, making it kind of a finicky ordeal. I also found that the LFOs themselves having power would trigger sounds without the toy being turned on, which was a sweet surprise. Here's a close-up of the circuit board and the bends, the places that I made the bend connections. On the left is the LFO connection points, and those worked for me. I think it was somewhere between 3 and 5 volts that I'm pumping out to it, a square wave to it to get them to trigger. And the chaos button connections are the 2 white buttons on either side of the nose, plus the nose itself is actually a button, even though it frequently doesn't do much. But it can create some chaos with the right combinations. It's not always, it's pretty finicky. The green is the pitch control, which I took that out and put in a 500K for the coarse control that'll bring it down to really, really slow, and then a 12K pot for the finer control. And of course the power, where I used a 1K pot for starving the circuit. So that's pretty much it. forgot to mention I put an LDR, a light dependent resistor, on the top of the toy in parallel with the fine pitch pot so that you can warble. Yeah. Just a shot of the rat's nest that is the wiring of all the pots and the switches behind the lion's head. It's I had to cut away a good section of it to get everything in there, but that's always the fun part, isn't it? And here's a shot of the bottom of the toy with the $4 price tag from Goodwill, which I'm leaving on as a point of pride for being so thrifty or finding the toy for a couple of bucks and then turning it into something. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.